Hi everyone. So before we start discussing about infectious disease agents, let's first see this box. In this, they have talked about peptic ulcers and the Nobel Prize. See, for many years, everybody used to think that peptic ulcers, which cause acidity-related pain and bleeding in the stomach and duodenum, were because of the lifestyle reasons, all right? So people used to think that these peptic ulcers, which are ulcers in our stomach, okay, and the related pain, bleeding in the stomach and even duodenum, they were because of this lifestyle reason. They used to think that a stressful life can lead to this situation, and because of the acid secretion, because of the stressful life, there is acid secretion, and because of the acid secretion, there is this peptic ulcer causing, getting in our stomach. This is what they used to think. But then what happened? These two Australians made a discovery that the bacterium, see, bacteria is plural and bacterium is singular. So these two Australians made this discovery that this bacterium called Helicobacter pylori was responsible for peptic ulcer disease. All right. And the name of this is, this scientist was Robert Warren, a pathologist from Perth, Australia. He saw that these small curved bacteria in the lower part of the stomach in many patients. So he found this small curved bacteria in many patients in the lower part of the stomach. He also noticed that signs of inflammation were always present around this bacteria. So he found out that the signs of inflammation were always present around this bacteria. So naturally, these bacteria would be responsible for the inflammation. Then Barry Marshall, a young clinical fellow, became interested in Warren's findings and succeeded in cultivating the bacteria from these sources. So he cultivated bacteria from sources just to make sure that these are the bacteria, they are responsible for this disease. And then in treatment studies, Marshall and Warren showed that the patients could be cured of peptic ulcer disease only when bacteria were killed from the stomach. So these bacteria, they were responsible for peptic ulcer disease, and when these bacteria were killed, patient got cured, okay, patient got treated. So thanks to this pioneering discovery by Marshall and Warren, that peptic ulcer disease is no longer chronic. See, initially it was chronic because there was no treatment, but now it's no longer a chronic disease. We know what is chronic disease, right? So, see, a disease that can be cured by a short period of treatment with antibiotics, and this we can get this treatment just with antibiotics for this peptic ulcer disease. And for this achievement, Marshall and Warren, these two scientists, they received the Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine in 2005. All right. So this is how peptic ulcer disease and its treatment and the Nobel Prize for these two scientists are related. Now let's talk about infectious agents. See, we know that infectious diseases are spread with some agents, with some pathogens. Now, these pathogens can be single-celled animals, organisms we can say, or multicellular organisms. Okay? So, single-cell organisms are like viruses, bacteria, fungi, all right? The protozoa, these are single-cell organisms, all right? They can cause infectious disease. And multicellular organisms like worms of different kinds. In worms also there are different types. In virus also there are different types. In bacteria also there are different types. But in overall, these are the categories of unicellular organisms, infectious agents, and multicellular organism infectious agents. So in unicellular we have virus, bacteria, fungi, and in multicellular we have this worms. All right. Now, see, these are some pictures. This is See, this picture is given of SARS virus, severe acute respiratory syndrome. Okay, the full form of this is severe acute respiratory syndrome. So these viruses are coming out. See these arrows, this arrow, this and this arrow. Okay, so these viruses are coming out, and all these viruses, see. Okay, all right. So we were discussing about this. We already talked about this. All right, so we were discussing these pictures. See, this is pictures of SARS, that is severe acute respiratory syndrome. If you can see these viruses, okay. So this white line, this is a scale. So it is showing that these viruses represent 500 nanometers. This 500 nanometers is actually half of micrometer, and 1 micrometer is actually 1,000th of a millimeter. Means just imagine, we know how small millimeter is, and 1,000th of a millimeter is micrometer, and half of a micrometer is 500 nanometer. Means the scale line gives us an idea that how small the things we are looking at. Means these are the magnified version. Okay, so these are so small, right? So these are SARS viruses. All right, then this picture is showing, just a minute. All right, this next picture is this is B. It is picture of staphylococci, the bacteria. So staphylococci is a bacteria. It can cause acne. See these, these are bacteria. They can cause acne. The scale again is showing that by the line at the top left here. This is the line which is showing the scale. So these are 5 micrometers long. All right. Then the next one is this. All right, this is picture of Trypanosoma, a protozoa organism responsible for sleeping sickness. So this organism is lying next to the saucer-shaped red blood cells. We know red blood cells look like this. So this is your protozoa. And again, this is just to give an idea that what is the size of this. Okay. Then we have this picture of Leishmania. This is Leishmania, okay, protozoa organism that causes Kala-Azar disease. Now the organism are oval shaped, and each of them one whip-like structure. See, these are whip-like structure, okay, and here these are immunity cells. So these one organism is dividing. So this arrow shape, see, these are dividing cells. So they are getting whip-like structure. All right. While a cell of the immune system, lower right here, okay, these are the cells of the immune system. All right. It has gripped onto the whips, 2 whips. See, these have whips onto the 2 whips. See here. Okay. Why? Because this immune system organism is sending cell processes up to eat up the organism so that they can stop this organism to spread the Kala-Azar disease. Okay, the immune cell is about 10 micrometer in diameter. So these are about 10 micrometer in diameter. All right. Then here you have a picture of adult roundworm. See, this is roundworm. These are found in stomach. Okay. The medical name is, biological name is Ascaris lumbricoides, from the small intestine. So these are found in small intestine. This is the ruler. It shows that it is 4 centimeter to give us an idea about the scale. All right. So these are some viruses, protozoa, and bacteria. So basically what happens is, See, now we talked about that these are some of the viruses, bacteria, and how this infectious agents are. Now in our next video we will talk about in detail these bacteria and viruses in detail.